Welcome everyone. Let's begin our lesson for today by going over the learning goals and success criteria. First, what are we learning? We're learning how to select the most efficient method of finding a solution to a system of linear equations, how to find the slope and y-intercept of a function from an equation, how to graph linear functions using slope and y-intercept, how to graph multiple linear functions on the same plane and find the point of intersection, how to solve systems of equations algebraically using the elimination method, and how to solve systems of equations algebraically using the substitution method. How are we learning it? Through the solving systems of equations by substitution notes and the solving systems of equations by substitution assignment, as well as the system is broken assignment. When can we use this information? To find economic solutions to financial problems such as income versus expenses and supply versus demand, and to determine the best way to complete a task when there are multiple ways to complete the task, such as putting up a new fence in the backyard. How do you know you learned it? By getting a score of 4 on the solving systems of equations by substitution assignment and a 4 on the system is broken assignment. Now let's take a look at our agenda for today. We will begin by going over the learning goals and success criteria. While we do that, you'll fill out your Get It Started. Once you've completed your Get It Started, we'll go over it together and answer any questions that you may have. Then you'll move on to the IXL activity called Solving Systems of Equations by Substitution. This is an activity we've already done, so if you've already gotten a SMART score of 80, you'll move on and work on the System is Broken assignment on Desmos. If you have not gotten a SMART score of 80, you'll finish up that IXL activity. At the end of class, we'll go back over the learning goals and success criteria while you fill out your Before You Go. Your only homework for tonight is to continue working on the Systems of Linear Equations study guide and any incomplete assignments that you may have. Let's take a look now at the Solving Systems of Equations by Substitution notes. The notes begin with the learning goals and success criteria. Now let's take a look at how we can graph systems of linear equations. So all this really means is we're going to graph both of these lines at the same time. So on the first one, we'll go ahead and graph this. So we're going to plot our y-intercept, which is -2. So we're going to go down 2 and plot our point. And the slope is 1/3. So we're going to go up 1 to the right 3, plot our point, and connect the dots. So just like we did earlier, that's the same thing we're going to do now. Now, we're just going to plot the second line on the same graph. So my y-intercept for this one is 3. So I'm going to go up 3 and plot my point. And my slope is -1/2. So I'm going to go down 1 to the right 2. Connect the dots. And notice now I have a point where they intersect, which is right there. That is considered the solution to the system of equations. Now let's talk about how we can solve these systems using substitution. So we have two equations here. Y equals 2x minus 3. And x plus y is equal to 6. So the first thing we're going to do is isolate one of the variables, which means we're going to get one of the variables by itself on one side of the equal sign. Well, the nice thing is we already have that right here. We have y isolated. So we know that y is the same thing as 2x minus 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in the value on the other side for y into the other equation. So I have x plus y is equal to 6, but y is really equal to 2x minus 3. So I'm going to plug that in. So now it says x plus 2y minus 3 is equal to 6. Now I can solve for x. So I combine like terms. I get x plus 2x is 3x. So I have 3x minus 3 is equal to 6. Then I'm going to add 3 to both sides. And I get 3x is equal to 6 plus 3 is 9. Now I can divide both sides by 3 to get x by itself, and I get x equals 9 divided by 3 is 3. So there's my x. So that's the x coordinate of where they cross. Now I need to find the y coordinate. So I'm going to plug it into one of the equations. It doesn't matter which one. I'll use this one, x plus y equals 6. But x is really 3, so I'm going to plug in 3 for x and then solve for y. So I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides, and I get y is equal to 6 minus 3 is 3. So when x is 3, y is 3, and that's the solution for both of the equations. Now what happens if the variable is not already isolated? So that's our goal, is to get one of the variables isolated. Now if they're not isolated, we can go ahead and take one of the equations and move everything away from one of the variables, and that will isolate it. So in this case, I'm going to take the equation y minus 2x is equal to -3, and I'm going to isolate y. So in order to do that, I'm going to add 2x to both sides, and I end up with y equals 2x minus 3. Now it's isolated, Now I can go ahead and plug it into the other equation. So I have x plus y equals 6, but y is really equal to 2x minus 3, so I'm going to plug that in for y. So now it says x plus 2x minus 3 is equal to 6. Now I can go ahead and solve. So I'm going to combine like terms. So x plus 2x is 3x. So I get 3x minus 3 is equal to 6. I'm going to add 3 to both sides to get rid of this. So I get 3x is equal to 6 plus 3 is 9. Now I'm going to divide both sides by 3 to get rid of this 3. And I get 9 divided by 3 is 3. So x equals 3. Then I plug it into the other equation and solve. So I'm going to pick either equation, doesn't matter which one. I'll pick this one. And I'm going to plug 3 in for x. So I get 3 plus y is equal to 6. Subtract 3 from both sides to get y by itself. And I get 6 minus 3 is 3. So x is 3 and y is 3. Now there's a video here that shows you how to check systems of linear equations in Desmos. So go ahead and watch that video. Let's talk now about how we can use Desmos to check our work when dealing with systems of linear equations. So first thing we're going to do is go to desmos.com, which is here, and we're going to click on Graphing Calculator. Now, this allows us to type in our equations over here. So let's go ahead and put in an equation. So let's say it's y equals 2x minus 4. So there's our first equation. Now we're going to type in our second equation. So we're going to go to the line below it. And let's say it's y equals negative 2x plus 4. So there's my two lines. And if I go to where the two lines intersect and click on it, I can see that it gives me the coordinates of exactly where the two lines intersect. They intersect at x equals 2 and y equals 0. So this would be the solution to my system of equations. And I can do this by inputting any two equations and then going to the point of intersection and clicking on it. It will tell me what the coordinate of that is, with the x coordinate first and the y coordinate second. So this is how you can check your work using Desmos when dealing with systems of linear equations. Let's talk now about how to access your assignments on IXL using SBLink. So what you'll do is you'll click on the link that takes you to your SBLink, which should look like this, and you're going to log in the same way you would log into your computer. So the first part for your username is going to be the first part of your email address without the @sbcusd.ca.us. So it should be your last name, first initial, middle initial, and then the last 4 of your student ID. Then for your password, it's the same password you use to log into your Chromebook. From there, you'll go ahead and click Sign In. And it should take you to a page that looks kind of like this. You're going to go find the link that says IXL, which is right here. And I'm going to go ahead and click on that link. And it should take me to the IXL login page. So it should look like this. At the top right corner, it should say welcome and then your name. If it does not say your name, then you're not logged in and you won't receive credit for your work. As long as this is good, you can go ahead and close that tab out. And then you can go to your Google Classroom, and then you'll go and find the activity, which is here. And I'm going to click on the IXL link right here. And this will take me to the assignment that I need to complete. So that's how you log into your assignments on IXL using SBLink. Let's take a look now at the Solving Systems of Equations by Substitution assignment. The assignment begins with the learning goals and success criteria. If we scroll down, there's a link here that'll take you to SBLink. This will allow you to log in so that you can access your IXL activity. Once you've logged in using SBLink, go ahead and come back to this Google form and click on this link. And it should take you to a page that looks like this. Now for this one, it says x equals negative 3 and negative 8x minus 5y is equal to 9. Well, we already know what x is. X is negative 3, so we're going to go ahead and put that in. Now, we get to decide which method is going to be the easiest. Well, we already know what x is, so let's just plug it in. So we'll use substitution. So we get negative 8 times negative 3 minus 5y is equal to 9. And then we'll just solve that. And when we do that, we end up with y equals 3. So we go ahead and hit submit. It tells us we got it right and sends us on to the next one. Now this one says minus 4x minus 4y is equal to negative 8, and 2x plus y is equal to negative 5. So we have two options here. Either one would work. We could subtract 2x from both sides to get y by itself and then use substitution. Or we could multiply this one by 2, and that would give us opposite coefficients here, and then use elimination. So either one would work. Either one of them would work. We'll go ahead and multiply this. So we get negative 4x minus 4y is equal to negative 8. And then we get 4x plus 2y is equal to negative 10. Well, that cancels out my x's. And now I'm left with negative 4 plus 2y is negative 2y is equal to negative 18. So when I divide both sides by negative 2, I get positive 9. So y is 9. And then I just plug 9 into one of these equations. So we'll plug it into the bottom one. So 2x plus 9 is equal to negative 5. Well, we subtract 9 from both sides, and we get negative 14. So 2x is equal to negative 14. Divide both sides by 2, and we get x is equal to negative 7. Then we go ahead and hit submit. It tells us we got it right. My SMART score continues to go up. And you'll continue to answer these questions until you get a SMART score of 80. Once you get a SMART score of 80, you'll go ahead and return to your Google form and click Next. This will take you to your Before You Go. Go ahead and fill out your Before You Go and then submit your work on Google Classroom.